Did you notice in COVID? I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed it in COVID when everybody was like, couldn't go to work and couldn't do everything we did before. All of a sudden, all kinds of birds showed up at my house.
It's quiet. They're not being disrupted.
Oh my God. It was like nature just like showed up within that year. It just totally changed. Nature totally changed.
Or the other thing is that nature's always been there. We're just masking it so much with our behavior.
I don't know. I think we're hurting it, but.
Well, we are hurting it.
Welcome to the Level Design Podcast, a podcast for architects and engineers who want to thrive in this industry by creating more freedom, fulfillment, and financial security. Join us in uncovering how to restore value and honor to the unique people who choose to be designers and caretakers of our built world, and why it's essential to the future of our society, our industry, and our planet.
I'd like to actually get back to a point where Scott actually helped me out when I was starting my walks around where I live in Castle Rock. And this is at the time of when Columbus, way back in the late 1400s, early 1500s. And then it was the game trails. And I was looking at a map a couple of weeks back when we first started talking about picking this up again, me helping out with that. And it was a map of the Native American Indians, the native peoples of North America, roadways built. And we know darn well that they follow the game trails. When I walk off track in Castle Rock, I'm walking at game trails, and you can pick them up. Once you get an eye for it, you can't miss them. And you do it as a hunter, Scott. You see that all the time. And then in the 1700s, 1800s, they built roads. Well, they followed the Native American roadway. And then it's very, very interesting that most interstates follow the same routes.
Yep, especially collectors and arterials and older communities. And man alive, it's like, well, we go, why are these roads so terrible? It's like, well, that deer wasn't planning on going 75 miles an hour, right? So it doesn't work.
New Zealand's a classic country on that, because when they built roads in New Zealand, with the topography being so windy and steep and river infested, as one might use, it's the same way. And people today are complaining about the roads for that reason.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of aligns with that, but I was just in Florida and we drove all the way there from Texas. So I saw a lot of road, and I have never in my life seen more roadkill. It was very sad, honestly, because you think these humans just came in over time and just put this concrete right in the way of their natural path, environment, and trail. But I do know that, I think you've spoken to this, Scott, like, I forget what it's called, but agricultural bridge or whatever, where you're basically giving that path back over the highway. So it looks like a bridge, but it's green.
Yeah.
With grass and foliage.
Below and above bridges to try to get wildlife. Yeah. It's gruesome. It's a gruesome thing.
It was right in my face, the human impact on the
deer
planet.
after deer after deer, or whatever that was. Yeah. And then it is interesting too how we've gotten to the point where our emotions about it vary so much as humans. Our emotions about killing things on the road. It's like
we like to eat it, but we don't want to kill them.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Some people don't care. Some think it's fun. Some think it's gross. Some people are in pain.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, at the very least, we could have someone that just drives up and down and takes them and turns them into, edible meat.
Yeah.
Well, if you get them soon enough, you can. Yeah.
Right. It's sad, but at least that way someone can eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Our interaction with infrastructure and nature is actually getting a little scary to me. If you get an airplane, you ever guys do this? I don't know if any of you do this. It's just, to me, it's heartbreaking to me when I get an airplane at night and I look down and all I see is lights. And I see all this carbon being burned for, I don't understand what. Is it fear of darkness that we're burning up the planet? What are we?
The lethargy, it's just can't be bothered.
It's what?
People, I think, can't be bothered to say, well, I've got LED lights now, so I'm not burning as much power. But it's the individual thing. It's like anything, most things that affect the environment have to come from the bottom up.
Yeah.
The president can say whatever he or she says till cows come home, but it won't affect that. You have to make your own choice personally as to what you're going to do. And mine is turn off the lights. Turn them off. You live in an area of dark skies. You don't want your lights on.
Yeah, and it's actually so nice. But this natural environment, we're just sucking out ancient energy, bringing it forward, lighting up the entire planet, And it's just like, for what? What are we doing?
Let's go back. How did we get here?
Yeah, how did we get here? So my children are actually angry at my parents about the environmental issue. They're angry and mad, thinking their grandparents deliberately did this. Like, they woke up and said, I'm going to be a greedy SOB and destroy the planet for my conveniences. I walk outside and there's light, my V8 engine, who cares? And my parents would say, actually, we didn't know. That's not what we intended. We didn't know we were destroying the planet. We didn't know that chemicals in our fields were going to have a bad result. We didn't know driving our V8s were going to do anything. We just figured this out. We just found out. And that's an interesting thought.
See, human behavior and the effect on the environment can be quite dramatic. Look at 2008 Olympics in Beijing, China. They basically shut down the factories and that for about 2 weeks prior to the Olympics. And the skies cleared up. Well, you can do the same thing anytime you want.
And did you notice in COVID, I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed it in COVID, when everybody was like, couldn't go to work and couldn't do everything we did before, all of a sudden, all kinds of birds showed up at my house.
It's quiet. They're not being disrupted. They're not,
Oh my God. It was like nature just like showed up within that year. It just totally changed. Nature totally changed.
Or the other thing is that nature's always been there. We're just masking it so much with our behavior.
I don't know. I think we're hurting it, but.
Well, we are hurting it.
How did we get here? Miles, I would say that we didn't understand until recently our human conveniences had any impact. Our having children and our children having children was all a Hallmark card, right? Building roads and conveniences. Hey, we can go to grandma's house and we can fly. We can be there instead of 3 months to go across the country. We can do it in 2 hours. We did not know. I am convinced we did not know that it was a problem.
Looking for a new opportunity? Interested in being part of an expanding network of independent engineers and architects who are thinking differently? Level Design Partners is on a mission to create prosperity for design professionals, the industry, and the world, using innovative business systems and a culture of collaboration. We believe that traditional education and firm structures want you to be a cog in their machine, depriving you of key skills needed to thrive, thus commoditizing an entire industry in the process. Gain access to skills, tools, and systems by partnering with Level Design Partners. Learn more at leveldesignpartners.com.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's too late. Once you go to that point, it's really hard to stop or go backwards, because now you have all these people in the game, and going back to the greed model, the system that we're in doesn't want to stop. It wants to keep growing.
And there's misinformation mixed in and everything.
One of your responses to your children, Scott, would be, okay, if that's the case, then why don't you take it upon yourself to do something about the help? Don't get that McDonald's throwaway cup. Go ahead. Make sure the lights are turned off in the house.
Or just plastic bottled water, right?
Yeah, stop. Period. The end. Don't buy another plastic bottle of water.
Careful with your Amazon orders.
Yeah, see, one of the things that our humanity's having troubles with is inexpensive throwaway product. It goes everything from toothbrushes to tennis shoes to clothing, everything. We make them cheaply. They don't last. And then you throw them away. Well, unless we pump them out into space, we're going to be stuck with it.
Yeah. Miles, your research on foods, you love this research on just what are we doing to the planet on just creating food for ourselves. The food system and the affordability of food is like destroying the planet. Just that activity.
Yeah. And we've covered this a lot, but like environmental, all this stuff. I did want to say, I just saw the other day, it's opening in January here in Austin. And I see stuff like this for the future. Hopefully it's like kind of farm to table, like what's it called? Farmer's market.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a farmer's market every day.
Yeah.
It's just a grocery store. And so they have like, there's no single packaged products in there. It's all bulk, and you come in just like a farmer's market. You know, you get your rice, you get your meat, you get whatever you want. And it looks like a mixture of the future and the past all in one grocery store. You know, you bring your own containers, you fill them up. There's no plastic, there's no processed stuff. So you're healthier, your environment is healthier, the people around you are happier. If we did that and we start to scale that up, I think that can make a small impact. in this whole thing.
See, you can do that now. I've taken it upon myself to, I shop at King Supers normally. It's right across where I live. So I walk there. I take my grocery bags. When I get my vegetables and that, I don't put them in those little plastic bags they have. I throw them all in one container. Then I give the checkout, if I have someone check them out, an empty one, and say scan them out of that bag and put them in that bag. I put the lettuce in with the carrots, with the spuds. Who cares? You can wash them, and let's not be germaphobes here. A little bit of dirt won't hurt you.
Yeah, it'd probably help you.
Exactly. There's so much stuff you can do as an individual. I want to teach my grandkids that, whether it's successful or not. But I think if we all took it upon ourselves, we could really help.
Yeah. I liken it to the grieving process, Miles, to your question. The process of grieving and the phases you go when you lose something significant. I think our society is doing this right now. I think we went from not knowing and being happy with that situation to ignorance was bliss, and to all of a sudden we were told it's no longer going to be this way. And then we went into denial, and currently we're in denial and misinformation. And then the next phase will be, okay, we got to actually change our behavior. Our life has changed. And I think we're in a long cycle of grieving, of not knowing, misinformation, lots of misinformation now about it. We don't actually believe most things we hear today, and that's where we're stuck at. And we're going to get into these behavior changes like Murray just said. Okay, I get it. I can't do that anymore. I got to start changing my behavior. So I think that's how we got here.
It doesn't have to be that hard too. I think that's the thing that people need to get through, is it's actually fun and can be really easy. Like what you're doing, Murray, I love that. That's arguably easier on you.
Well, my recycle bin is 3 times my trash can. I have 1 bag of trash every 2 weeks if I'm lucky, because I shop on the outside of the grocery store. I don't buy anything packaged. I don't buy anything processed. I just eat too much. It's good stuff. And I love it. I love a beer and a wine too, of course. No, it's up to the individual. And if we do, it's like sustainability. Everyone talks about sustainability ad nauseum. It starts from the bottom up. As you get,
if we don't do it, guys, I think nature's going to do it for us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. Well done. Well said.
Nature is going to solve it if we don't do it. But anyway, Miles, if I had to ask you, what do you think about environmentally when you see a big old locomotive going by and all that diesel, all that noise, all that?
Pulling 10,000 tons of coal.
Yeah. What do you think about, or do you not think about it?
I don't see a lot of trains. I think when I do, though, I don't know why, but it's almost a positive to me to see a train, because it seems like it's better than planes and cars. But at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, that doesn't make any sense.
That's interesting. So you do have a railroad in Austin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Take a walk down there, stand next to the tracks, feel that locomotive go by. That is the lowest carbon transportation we have in America still per ton.
So I was right. And
you were right. It is the lowest carbon footprint for moving.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like it's a straight line. It's not sitting in traffic. It can load up tons of materials.
Why aren't we building more rail than we are lanes for highways for trucks?
Right.
I've been thinking about that, Scott, for so long. And to give you an example, it's called the HS2. It's a high-speed train line out of London up to northern England, up to Manchester, Leeds area. They started that project about 10, 15 years ago, and it's going to cost them about $400 billion to build it. They're doing it now. And this is something that's got out of control. They're building sections of it that are costing $140 million a mile. This is absolutely insane. And what they did is they said, we want a high-speed train that'll run 250 miles an hour. Well, that in itself is silly. In Japan and other Asian countries and in France, they run at about 180, which is about as much as you need to. If you're running from Reims into Paris, I mean, that's probably a 2-hour trip with 300-400 miles. That's fine. And it's quicker than flying. And that's an example of someone taking a project and going beyond. That lacked the round table. In my opinion. What are we trying to achieve? And back to your point, your question and your point, Scott, about rail. It's almost sad that this country didn't expand rail when they had the chance.
Yeah, we need to get back to rail instead of trucking.
Didn't we have a huge push for rail? We were going to build all this rail infrastructure. I forget what era this was, and then it just all stopped.
Well, California has one right now. LA to San Francisco, they're building.
Well, that's transit. I'm talking freight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking freight.
Yeah, the convenience of having more efficient freight.
It's hard to get a person American out of a car, but I'm talking trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking 18-wheelers versus trains. Why it's crazy talk what we're
So
doing.
true. So true.
Yeah, because of the impact.
Yeah, and it's the structures we're in, it's the lobbyists, it's the structures that are preventing it, but we should talk about that someday.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. A lot more to talk about. So Murray, good to have you back, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Murray.
You're welcome, Scott. Good to see you guys. Cheers. Take care.
Thanks for listening. If you found value in this episode, support us by sharing it with someone or leaving a review. In upcoming episodes, we'll discuss the realities of the industry today and what the future may look like. It's our belief that positive changes for architects and engineers is not the obligation of the industry, but rather a choice you make to reimagine how we work together. We invite you to join us in creating a world in which design professionals thrive. Learn about our mission and get involved by following us wherever you listen to podcasts and subscribing to our newsletter at leveldesignpartners.com.